jamming in studio today. Welcome to another edition of Divine Ladies Marvelous Specialist Showcase. And today our special guest is none other than the multi-talented B Major. He's into his, what you saying, B?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good.
You're talking a little low now. Talk a little louder. Put yeah. You just come from church shouting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But now, B Major, he's been in ministry for the past 5 years or so, and we're all familiar with the song that's playing in the background. Halle, halle. Yeah, that's one of my faves by this artist. And today he will be sharing more of his new music with us. So thank you so much, B Major, for accepting my invitation to be on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Listen here, the pleasure's all mine. But tell me now, when did you first discover your gift of singing? How old were you? When did it happen? Are you the only person in your family who can sing?
No, actually I have an aunt. I believe when I was about 7, she did a song that she put on the radio, and that was big for us because we would play that song every day.
So that kind of inspired you then?
Yeah, that was the start of it.
But you weren't singing gospel then though, right?
No.
You were just, okay. And how old were you at that point in time?
When she had a song on the radio, I was about 7.
And what's her name?
Her name is Tracy Major.
Tracy Major?
Yes.
I know a Tracy Major, but she never sang nothing.
I guess she had a hidden talent.
She never, I think it's the wrong Tracy, but yeah, that's my girl, still love her, but she never sang anything.
Yeah.
But so tell us again, who is B Major? B Major, that's like the title of a musical scale or something like that, but does it stand for your name or anything like that? Tell us, who is B Major?
First off, with the name, I would like to say that I came up with the name, but the name is God-given.
Okay.
Major.
You stole from God.
Major is my title, my last name.
Okay.
And the B came from another name that I carried when I was in high school, but I dropped the full name. I just kept the B. And it's almost like a play on words as well. So it's an inspiration to say be greater. Because major in Spanish is greater.
Okay.
So it's a play on words. So every time you say be major, it's an inspiration to me to say be greater.
So what's your real name, B Major?
My name
Bartholomew?
My name,
Brutus?
ironically, does not begin with a B.
You're just robbing God of all of his letters.
My given name is Siobhan, which means God is gracious. And the middle name is Alexander, which means protector of men.
Okay, I see why you changed your name, because you can't come, yeah boy, the Siobhan here.
Yeah,
that wasn't working.
It doesn't have the same feel.
B Major, that has a lot of testosterone.
Yeah.
It sounds like, okay, I'm bringing it, people, okay?
Yes, it's more suitable.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about, where were you born, who your parents are, where did you go to school, that kind of stuff.
Born in Nassau. I don't even know where to say where I was raised because I spent time between here and Fort Lauderdale in my teenage years. So I was back and forth, and then I came back here about 2007 when I was 19, turning 20. Born in Nassau, I grew up on Camp Road with my grandmother in her home.
Okay.
So shout out to everybody back in Nassau.
And I know Camp Road, that's a dangerous area, boy.
Yeah.
You lucky to, come
made it out
of
of Camp Road.
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't.
We be in real hell.
When you're home, like it isn't like you're expecting, like when other people say Camp Road or hear Camp Road, they feel some kind of way. But it's home, so you don't see the same things. I remember somebody telling me they didn't know they were poor until they got things, So when you're in that environment,
right? I know.
You don't really know what's going on or what's happening.
This guy, I was downtown one day, and this guy decided he was gonna mess with me downtown. So I was like, okay, Divine Lady, you better toughen up, you better show me time of this. I said, look here, boy. I said, don't you mess with me, I said, I from the Grove. He said, yeah, I from Camp Road. This means see you later, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah,
I'm going my way. I'm like, yeah, boy, I from the Grove. I said, I will deal with you right now. He's like, yeah, and I from Camp Road. What you got to say?
Play the trump card on you.
Yeah, this be bye now. So I know exactly what time it is. So what are your parents' names? Or
my father is Mark Clark.
Okay, you related to my peoples, the Clarks.
Possibly.
All right, go ahead.
And my mother, who's now deceased, her name is Sheree.
All right.
Sheree Major.
Okay, but you said you grew up with your grandmother.
Yeah, and my mother and I, we lived with my grandmother, so we was under her roof.
Yeah, I understand. Been there,
Yeah.
done that, you know. But
Yeah.
what's Grammy's name? Is Grammy still alive?
Yeah, she is.
Hi,
Alice,
Grams.
Alice Major.
I wonder if Grammy listening today. You told her to listen to the radio
I
today?
gave everybody a shout to let them know that I would be on, but I'm not certain if she's still in church at the moment.
Grammy have WhatsApp. You need to WhatsApp Grammy. Right? Grammy got WhatsApp,
I'll
man.
make sure that they know I represent it.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us now, you know, when did you start performing publicly and how have you seen yourself develop over the past 5 years or so as an artist?
2007, I think I did my first performance in front of a crowd.
Okay.
That was nerve-wracking, trust me. Because
2007, that was like, that was just
Yeah,
the
that's-
other day.
I still remember it like it was the other day when I was at the park. But
Wow.
yeah, it's nerve-wracking because you don't know what's going on in somebody's mind. So, because somebody could be there staring at you and they might be receptive of what you're doing, but their response is possibly showing something different. So my mind is going like 1,000 miles per second, trying to figure out if they're being receptive, if I'm doing the right thing or not. But needless to say, it was a learning experience. So I'm appreciative for that.
Okay, that's awesome. And who are the musical artists that have inspired you besides Addie? Tracy.
Growing up, listening to hip hop, R&B, and things of that sort, whoever was,
Secular or gospel? You know?
whoever was popular at the time. I can honestly say I don't really have much gospel influences.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? He is opening a can of worms here.
Yeah. Even my writing process, when I'm like going through the writing process, I don't like to listen to anybody, like period.
I understand.
Just so I don't become clouded or anything like that. But for me, gospel was always singing like a praise or worship song. I'm more drawn to worship if I had a preference when it comes to gospel. But the praise songs and things that I thought I wouldn't really get into. Because it wasn't my field, I never really got into it. Not until I got saved.
All right. And so you write all of your own music.
Yeah, every lyric that I have, I write.
Wow. And have you been writing before you started, like actually singing the stuff? Because I mean, I'm a writer. I was writing since I knew myself.
Yeah.
I was just writing anything, writing songs, making up songs about the grass, driving down the street, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So how long have you been writing?
Well, when I was in the 7th grade, for one of our final examinations in the term, we had to write a poem. And I wrote a poem and it quoted some music lyrics. And at the beginning of the next term, my teacher made me get up in the front of the class and recite it to the class. So I've been writing for a while, even before I started putting the music to it.
Awesome. And who's your producer? This song here, or you produce your own self?
No,
Okay.
I reach out to a bunch of different producers, but the producer for Holly is a guy out of Missouri. His name is Cashmere Royale.
Okay, you going all the way over the waters, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, but the engineer who mixed it and everything, he's from here.
Who is that?
His name is Joshua Chan. He's currently in.
You saw Joshua here now? Because I saw him last time I talked to
he's
Joshua.
in-
He's in Canada. He's back, eh?
No, he's still abroad.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But he's from here. Joshua, you forsake us, man. Because I've been trying to get him too.
Okay,
He is
okay.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Joshua, you are awesome. You're the man. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
definitely.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so how long have you been a Christian per se? You said you started doing this music thing for the past 5 years, but how long have you been a Christian? Did you just become a Christian and say, oh, I want to do gospel music?
Well, I was already rapping and things of that sort. So when I got saved in 2010, it was, like I said on Wednesday before, I didn't even know if I wanted to pursue rapping when I got saved, because I knew how
It would be received.
things
Right.
like that. So
Yeah. And when we spoke on Wednesday, like you alluded to, you said that you never even thought of doing gospel music, period.
Correct.
You said your story is crazy. Tell me about that Damascus Road experience that you had.
because I know where I come from, once you live a certain lifestyle, people expect certain things from you. So to be in the forefront as a musician, as an artist, to have to tell your story now, that you're changing over and reflecting on where you've been, it becomes kind of like some people will try to say, I know him, like, that ain't no truth. I know what I seen him do before. I know where he come from. He's just putting on things of that sort. So I was like, you know what? I'll just put that down to the side and don't even worry about it. Just get myself together and walk as a Christian. Don't even worry about the music anymore.
Are you surprised by the reception that you've received from the community at large with regard to this particular song here, Hallelujah? Like everybody just gravitate toward it.
Definitely. I remember I was somewhere and there was a lady and a granddaughter who they were talking amongst each other, and when I walked past, the granddaughter said, "That's the guy there who sings the song." And the grandmother approached me and she's like, I love your song. I always request it on the radio. We're always singing it and things of that sort. And I'm like, wow, that transcends the generation, because I wasn't expecting that at all.
Listen here, I wanted to meet you a long time because I used to play your stuff a long time. One of the first, and I can say that unequivocally so, it was me, right? But I always wanted to meet you because I thought the song was absolutely beautiful. The production was, it was very, how can I put it? Production was tight, man. You understand? And seamless, and it didn't. How some people they can do a recording and it sounds like it come from the back of the bush. You understand? Like the voice was flawless, the music flawless, everything just seemed to mesh into one another. And for real, I always wanted to meet you to see who is this guy, who is B Major, where he come from, to bring out something like this. You understand? Because it has an international type of sound, And so this is a pleasure to actually have you in studio here today.
Thank you.
But how has your music been received internationally? I know everybody around here, we love the song.
Oh, well, when I posted it online, I got some referrals from people in Tennessee. They were reaching out to me, wanted to know how they could get it to play on their radio, get permission and things of that sort. So things like that really opened my mind to say, okay, this song is bigger than me, it's bigger than Grand Bahamas, it's bigger than the Bahamas. Like, it has that international feel.
Awesome. So right now, let's take a break and listen to one of your songs. We're going to go with Carry the Gospel. Tell us a little bit about that song first. How did you come up with the idea to write that? What inspired you?
Well, for me, every time I write a song, it's testimonial based and also scripturally based. But this song, basically, it builds off of the scripture that says, "Go ye into the world, make disciples and baptize them and continue the process." So my mission is to carry the gospel. So the song is just an anthem to say, okay, this is my mandate, and I just want to make sure it's clear that this is what I'm about.
And the thing is, it's not only your mandate, it's all of our mandate.
Definitely.
I was thinking about that the other day. Do you feel like the church has lost its mandate somewhat? Because they're so busy doing other things and planning this conference, that conference, and you understand, like, we have a mandate to carry the gospel that Jesus saves.
And I also had a feeling, and we may even talk about this later, sometimes I feel like we get so comfortable inside church. Like on a Sunday, we know some people who wouldn't even come into church. We might could do a service out on the street.
Right.
Not even a service, like we could just walk door to door and things of that sort.
But what you know about street meeting now,
I came from the street.
That's right. Yeah,
so we love street meeting per se, but people walking on the street and we linking up with people trying to build and things of that sort. So we had principles, and biblical principles can translate to the secular world all the time. So I know, even from being in the bar, like, people in the bar gel together. So I don't understand why it's like people in the church strangers like can't and gel with each other. So
and it's very sad. That's a whole other topic. Let's do that on the other side. On the other side of the break. So here now is B Major with Carry the Gospel. Don't touch that dial. Tell everybody B Major in his house. He's on the Bahamas Gospel Showcase today.
Cause you keep giving me chances, and all I did was mess up. But now I'm learning with you everything is possible. My only purpose here is to carry this gospel into the world.